Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajacharya Ashtotra Shatashishimad Svangai Sesa Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Fourth Canto, Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, Text 63. So, what's the meter here? Okay. Tam eka adya purashupta shaktis. I think I skipped a word there. Tam eka adya purusha. Yeah. I heard you when the first time you said that, but I was just, there's in this book, it looks like the A is it's an A here, but here I think it's supposed to be an A, but I think the printing somehow messed it up. It kind of looks like a U. So, but now I know it's an A for sure, so I'll just, all right, so we'll try this first line of the verse the third time. All right, I'll try it again. Tvam eka adya purusha sapta shaktis. Tayaraja sattvatamo vidyate. Mahan aham kam murud agnivadara surarshyo bhutagana idam yataha tam eka adya purusha sapta shaktis tayaraja sattvatama vibidyate Mahanaham kam murud agnivardara surarshyo bhutagana idam yataha. Okay. So it does say supta here. Okay. Okay. I don't know. What's our standard?
Somebody came.
Yeah, Ed came, but Mars told me to wear a mask. Okay. Twam, your lordship. Ekaha, one. Adyaha, the original. Purushaha, person. Supta, dormant. Shaktihi, energy. Daya, by which. Rajaha, the passion energy. Sattva, goodness. Tamaha, ignorance. Vibidyate is diversified. Mahan, the total material energy. Aham, egotism. Kam, the sky. Muru, the air. Agni, fire. Vaha, water. Dadaha, earth. Sudha Rishayaha, the demigods and the great sages. Bhutaganaha, the living entities. Idam, all this. Yataha, from whom? Translation. The dear Lord, my dear Lord, you are the only supreme person, the cause of all causes. Before the creation of this material world, your material energy remains in a dormant condition. When your material energy is agitated, the three qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, act. And as a result, the total material energy, egotism, ether, air, fire, water, earth, and all the various demigods and saintly persons become manifest. Thus, the material world is created. Purport. If the whole creation is one, that is, nothing but the Supreme Lord, or Vishnu, then why do the expert transcendentalists make such categories as are found in the above verse? Why do learned and expert scholars distinguish between matter and spirit? In answer to these questions, Lord Shiva says that spirit and matter are not creations of various philosophers, but are manifested by Lord Vishnu, as described in this verse, Tvameka Adya Purushaha. Spiritual and material categories are made possible by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but actually there are no such distinctions for the living entities who are eternally engaged in the service of the Lord. There is only a material world for those who want to imitate the Lord and become enjoyers. Indeed, the material world is nothing but forgetfulness of the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the creator of everything. The distinction between matter and spirit is created by the sleeping energy of the Lord when the Lord wants to give some facility to those living entities who want to imitate the Lord in his enjoyment. It is only for them that this material world is created by the dormant energy of the Lord. For instance, sometimes children want to imitate their mother and cook in the kitchen, and at such a time the mother supplies them with some toys so that the children can imitate her cooking. You did that with your children, Kevin? Gave them a little kitchen? Oh, in the preschools, okay. Similarly, when some of the living entities want to imitate the activities of the Lord, this material cosmic manifestation is created for them by the Lord. The material creation is therefore caused by the Lord through his material energy. It is by the glance of the Lord that the material energy is activated. At that time, the three material qualities are set into motion, and the material energy is manifested first in the form of the Mahatattva, then egotism, then ether, then air, fire, water, and earth. After the creation, the living entities are impregnated in the cosmic manifestation, and they emerge as Lord Brahma and the seven great rishis, then as different demigods. From the demigods come human beings, animals, trees, birds, beasts, and everything else. The original cause, however, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead as verified herein. Tvameka Adya Purushaha. This is also confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadya Govinda Sarvakarna Karnam. Brahma Samhita 5.1. Those who are covered by the material energy cannot understand that the origin of everything is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. This is summarized in the Vedanta aphorism, Janmadhyasya Yataha, Vedanta Sutra 112. Krishna also confirms this in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 8. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotion or service and worship me with all their hearts. When Krishna says that he is the origin of everything, aham sarvasya prabhava, he means that he is even the source of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Purusha avatars, the material manifestation, all the living entities within the material world. Actually, the word prabhava, creation, only refers to this material world. For since the spiritual world is eternally existing, there is no question of creation. In the Chatushloki of Srimadbhagavatam, the Lord says, Aham evasam evagre. I was existing in the beginning, before the creation. Bhagavatam 2.9.33. In the Vedas, it is also said, Eko Narayana Asit. Before the creation, there was only Narayan. This is also confirmed by Shankaracharya, Narayana Paro Vyakta. Narayan is transcendental to the creation, Gita Bhashya. Since all the activities of Narayan are spiritual, when Narayan said, let there be creation, that creation was all spiritual. The material only exists for those who have forgotten that Narayan is the original cause. Om Ganatavadanda Silkananjana Shulkaya Chukshulandalitamena Tasma Shigraveda Kam Karidawachalam Pangam Langay Tegadim Yakripatamaham Vande Shigarundin Taranam Bancha Kapadru Bishta Kipasani Bevacha Patitanam Pavani Beva Vaishnavi Bionamanam Haja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Dravida Prabhupada, you prefer this fan on? If you do, obviously I'm fine with that. But if you okay with it off, then yeah. All right. So I think there's a doorstop there. All right. Okay, so translation again. My dear Lord, you are the only supreme person, the cause of all causes. Before the creation of this material world, your material energy remains in a dormant condition. When your material energy is agitated, the three qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, act, and as a result, the total material energy, egotism, ether, air, fire, water, earth, and all the various demigods and saintly persons become manifest. Thus, the material world is created. So you could say there's many important things to keep in mind in Krishna consciousness, but one, you could say, thing or a principle that that needs to be kept in mind is this idea of us being willing to change, not like change our clothes. Change our hairstyle, or change the way we put on tilak, but us transforming, like our consciousness, or you could say reawakening our original consciousness, Krishna consciousness. That's an important principle, because without that desire, without that aspiration, without that willingness to change, then how can someone make advancement? How could someone progress? They can't. It's just if there's no willingness to change, it's very difficult. Just like Vaishnav philosophy is not. I had to pick something up at the store the other day, and when I was in the store, they're playing really terrible music. Terrible music means just the sound of it was obnoxious, the lyrics, everything is just really unpleasant. But I was there, and it was kind of loud, and in some ways, anyways, I was seeing what the lyrics were saying, Anyway, so what one of the songs said was, it was some woman, and she was screaming or singing, and she was saying that I'm broken, but I'm beautiful. I don't know if anybody knows the song, but whatever. I'm broken, but I'm beautiful. Don't try to change me. So I'm broken means I'm messed up. I have some problems. I have some issues, but I'm beautiful, right? And most importantly, don't try to change me. So this isn't Vaishnava philosophy, obviously. Vaishnava philosophy isn't that. We're not taught that as aspiring transcendentalists, as aspiring devotees, or as devotees, we should think that, I'm broken, but I'm imperfect, but I'm beautiful, and most importantly, don't try to change me. That's not a Vaishnava attitude. Because the Vaishnava attitude, it's very humble. It's one of humility, and that's you could say that idea of being humble. That's based on truth, and that's reality. We should be humble as far as possible. Because if we think, oh, I'm broken, I'm imperfect, I'm imperfect, and we're kind of proud about it. Oh yeah, but I'm still beautiful even though I'm imperfect, and yeah, don't change me. Then there's no real. How can someone give advice to somebody? How could someone correct somebody? How can someone try to help somebody if they're not willing to change? So again, Vaishnava attitude is one of humility, in which they think I'm a Vaishnava, aspiring transcendental, aspiring Vaishnava. They think that I am broken or I'm imperfect. They always think that. Even great Vaishnavas like Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is one of the greatest Vaishnavas to grace the planet ever. He wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's favorite book. Srila Prabhupada also had that book when he was on the Jaladuta boat coming to America. One of the most important Vaishnava literatures ever. Very advanced. So he wrote that book, and in the book he's saying that I'm sinful, I'm fallen, I'm lower than Jagai and Madai. That's pretty low. And he even goes as far to say that I'm lower than a worm and stool. He says I'm so low. So, and this wasn't some type of poetic. Of course, he's Kaviraj. It means he's a poet. Right? But this wasn't like some type of poetical expression. This is how he was feeling. And same with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, and all these great devotees. So they think I'm imperfect, and they're not proud of that imperfection. Proud of the imperfection, like this, like in this song, this woman was singing, "Oh, I'm beautiful, even though I'm imperfect." But they are embarrassed by their imperfections, and they think they're ugly. It means their imperfections are ugly. And they think that I need to be fixed. I need to be, I need the advice of devotees, I need the guidance of other practitioners, and I need help. So this is a good mood to have, or the proper mood to have, and if one has this mood, then there is a chance of transforming their consciousness. And that's what Srila Prabhupada is urging us in his books over and over and over and over and over again. What's the message there? In the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so many books. Please be Krishna conscious, please transform your consciousness. And as we heard this morning, Triveda Prabhu read one of quotes from Narottam Das Thakur, which is in a song, Prema Bhakti Chandrika songbook. Narottam Das Thakur said, devotional service should be done not only with the body, but with the mind as well. And specifically, he was saying in that quote that one should engage the mind in hearing the pastimes of Krishna. So Prabhupada is trying to urge us over and over again in his lectures and his books to be Krishna conscious. And then, of course, we were talking about this other day. Oh, what's going on with all this repetition? Repetition. But repetition of a important point is necessary, and the proof that one has actually understood the message is that their conscience has transformed. So if a lot of the times people say a lot of repetition, but those persons who are saying that, oh, I've heard this so many times, they're the ones who need to hear it again so many times, so many more and more times, because a lot of the times they haven't actually understood the message and transform their consciousness. So here in this purport, Prabhupada's bringing up many interesting points, but one point is that depending on the consciousness of a living entity, they see things differently. And here Prabhupada says that there is only a material world for those who want to imitate the Lord and become enjoyers. Indeed, the material world is nothing but forgetfulness of the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the creator of everything. So the material world is here for those who want to imitate Krishna and become enjoyers, and the material world by definition is just nothing but forgetfulness. So if we remember Krishna all the time, we become fully Krishna conscious, and we give up this desire to imitate Krishna and become enjoyers, if we just give all this up, then what does that mean? It means we're situated in the spiritual world, or liberated. We're liberated. Jivan mukta suchite, we're liberated. So, of course, making our way to that point may be a little challenging, or in most cases are, because we've had a long career in trying to enjoy this world, and we haven't really invested ourselves. And the more someone invests themselves in a particular way of life, the more difficult it is for them to give it up. That's why a lot of the times we try to preach or teach or educate the youth, and a lot of the times those are the ones who take to it, because you try to educate someone, preach to someone who's a little older. They've invested so much in their career, in their materialistic family life, and career, and money, and bank. They really invested a lot, and then you get some guy coming up to them and saying, it's all kind of a waste of time. Just chant Hare Krishna, and you can never really be happy what you're doing anyways, and it's a difficult pill to swallow. Like some people have a hard time swallowing pills. I remember when I was, a lot of times children, they have a hard time, it's like really unattractive, swallowing pills, medicine. I had a hard time doing that when I was a child. But so you could say that these people are like children, in the sense that they have a hard time swallowing that pill. That, right, Krishna says, he stamps the material world, right? There's a nice stamp, dukalayam ashashvatam. It's a temporary place full of suffering. That's a hard pill to swallow. But he doesn't just leave it at that. He says that Brahma Saukyam Tvanam, we can experience a ever increasing transcendental bliss. So it's not just like he stamps it and then, okay, sorry, that's it, you just have to suffer, deal with it, it's temporary and suffering. But he gives an alternative by which one could experience transcendental happiness. So the people are like children that they have a hard time swallowing this pill, and therefore, they remain like children. They don't grow up. In the sense that what Prabhupada says here, he says that, for instance, sometimes children want to imitate their mother, or in some cases father, and cook in the kitchen. And at such a time, the mother supplies them with some toys so that the children can imitate her cooking. Similarly, when some of the living entities want to imitate the activities of the Lord, this material cause manifestation is created for them by the Lord. So children, those who have children here, and even just probably a lot of us growing up, or as Kevin just explained, that a lot of the times at preschools nowadays, they have a little fake kitchen set. It looks exactly, small and usually bright colors, and looks a little nice oven. Plastic frying pan and an oven, and burners, and they were holding pots, and fake. They have like fake, yeah, Mukunda saying sausages, whatever they have, fake food, And this way, the kids, they have a good time. They're playing, they're enjoying, and I kind of maybe remember, but I have a hard time remembering sometimes childhood stuff. But kids make mud pies and all these different things. My nephew, now that I'm thinking about it, he got a fake kitchen set, so it's a common thing. And apparently, it was common in Prabhupada's time too. He knew about it. So it's not that the child is like really cooking. It's fake. They're not really cooking, but they think they're cooking, and they're really, a lot of times they're really serious about it, like really engaged in it, and and they go to their parent and they say, "Oh, here you go," and I don't know what they're thinking, but they offer them the preparation that they cooked or whatever. But yeah, they're not really doing it. So, a person in this world, a materialistic, right, conditioned soul in this world, they are engaging in so many different types of enjoyments, right? But it's actually not real enjoyment. It's like a fake enjoyment that looks like a real enjoyment. Just like a kitchen set looks like a real kitchen, but it's actually not. But what's very interesting is that just as a child is taking this kitchen set really seriously, similarly, materialistic conditions, they're taking their activities very seriously, their activities of enjoyment very seriously. And so serious that we would say that they're like pure devotees of material energy, or pure devotees of Maya. They have so much confidence, they have so much faith, they have so much conviction, they have so much attraction to sense gratification, to trying to enjoy this world in so many different ways, that they're considered to be like pure devotees of Maya, or of illusion. And just as Bilva Mangala Thakur, he was attached to a prostitute, Chintamani, in his early life. She told him one day, after he really suffered and struggled and had a hard time coming to see her one night, she told him that if you had as much attraction, or even a fraction of attraction to Krishna as you do to me, you'd be a pure devotee. So this, energy that people have, this tendency to take things seriously, because people really take things seriously, even if, like for a lot of Vaishnavas, they look at people and what they're doing, they're like, oh, they're taking that seriously. That's like so ridiculous and childish and foolish and waste of time, and they're taking it so seriously. But if they were to take Krishna consciousness seriously, how much advancement would they actually make? A lot. Just like one family member of mine was telling me that they work at like a store, like a kind of like a grocery store, and they're telling me that there's a boss there, and the boss used to be a checker. Used to check people, ring people up, and then this checker got promoted to be the boss. But she kind of, her mood changed. She kind of got a little tough to work with, and kind of, really giving people the hard time. She really took this position to heart, being the boss. And but it's interesting, or they were also telling me that there was a worker there. They would take really seriously how they would stack everything in the store. It's like really serious. It had to be a particular way, and if you didn't do that, they're really serious about it. So And that, I mean, they're just too, I mean, people are very like, they're very serious janitors or something. They're like really, like that's their life. They work at the elementary school, they clean the toilets, and it's like really serious, So you could say that, okay, maybe it's, maybe it's good on some level that people take things seriously, whatever it may be. I mean, they get the job done, right? They're serious about it. But to be seriously invested in so many things in this world from a Krishna conscious point of view, and specifically to be invested seriously in those things of this world and to neglect Krishna consciousness, that's considered to be a waste of human form of life. Because, animals, they also take things very seriously. Animals take eating very seriously. Like, they're not messing around, like...
They protect the house. They're barking like anything.
Yeah. Yeah, the dog also. You take walks sometimes. I try to take a walk regularly, but I was taking a walk up the Faneuil here, or Everett's, and, going by one of these houses, and yeah, dog's taking it very seriously. It comes out and barking. I'm just walking by. I'm not really like... I don't think I'm threatening. I'm just walking by and chanting Hare Krishna, but dogs, barking really seriously. So whether eating or sleeping, mating, defending, they're taking it very seriously. So, so Prabhupada is stressing in his books that, okay, that same seriousness that we have for material life, we should transfer that to spiritual life. Transfer to Krishna consciousness. Just like, sometimes people in relationships, boy-girl relationships, that's usually the case. But they take it really seriously. Bob got together with Mary, and it's like really serious. And I wasn't going to say tattooed on the face, but some people get Mary tattooed on their face, or some people carve like a initial in their skin. Even so young as in middle school. It's really foolish. What do you think you're gonna? Maybe there's.
Romeo and Juliet were only 14.
Oh really? Oh wow! I didn't know they're so young. Wow, 14. I always thought they're at least in their 20s or something. But wow, 14. So, middle school, people, they get together, and I don't know, maybe there's some rare cases, especially nowadays becoming more rare, but that you have your high school sweetheart and you stay together for 50 years or something, very rare. But a lot of the times, it's not anything even close to sattva or any type of, goodness type of, it's just really lust. But they get together in middle school, so young actually. You look at a middle schooler nowadays, even when you're in your 20s and you're in your 30s, what to speak of if 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. If you look at a person in middle school, I don't know how they're old, 12 years old, 13 years old. They're so young looking, like just their bodies and their how they interact with people. They're just so young and inexperienced. You could see it in them. But what's interesting is that, again, they get in these relationships, and the man will carve in his hand or in his arm, with some type of instrument, an initial, Mary, M. He'll carve. That's just, it's crazy. They're taken so seriously, and they think that they are adults, actually, many of them. I'm speaking from experience, too. So similarly, people grow up, they grow up, but they carry this same type of consciousness in the sense that they think, because my body has grown up, means because my body's full grown, that automatically I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing in life. I know what love's all about. I know how to be happy. I know. They think that, a lot of them. It's based on pride of a conditioned soul. But just because one's physical body has grown up doesn't mean they know. Actually, they don't know unless they can practice Krishna consciousness, become Krishna conscious, accept a spiritual master, surrender to the spiritual master, surrender to Krishna, and then there's some chance of them knowing. Or else, as Prabhupada's bringing up there, they're just a bunch of kids, playing with fake kitchen set. The whole world, we could say, are a bunch of children, big children, playing with a bunch of, fake kitchen sets. Or you could say you got the small boys playing with the Hot Wheels, the little cars, and you got the big boys playing with their, BMWs and whatever, Mercedes Benz and all that. Or you got the, little girls playing with their little doll houses, and you got the, big girls playing with their mansions in Beverly Hills. They haven't really made much progress. So, therefore, Prabhupada would say it's like an open challenge to everybody practically. Krishna consciousness is an open challenge to everybody, that we're challenging the general conceptions, even conceptions people have of good lives, pious lives, humanitarian, charitable type of people. We're we're challenging so many people on so many fronts in the sense that is what you're doing actually that good, as good as you think it is? And in so many cases we say that you're missing something, and namely that's Krishna. So, we should just try to act in such a way whereas we have this mood of humility. We think that actually I don't know, and I need advice of devotees, and I need the guidance of my gurus. Not just guru means diksha guru, but it means shiksha gurus. That's very important. And in this way we could, make progress in Krishna consciousness and ultimately be reinstated in that natural situation of bliss and relation to Krishna. So does anybody have any comments, questions? Hare Krishna, Thaddeus. Welcome to you.
Yeah, just looking at this analogy of, a kitchen set, that the mother gives a kitchen set to keep the kids happy.
Yeah.
And so Krishna has given us this material world to try to imitate him. Well, come on. Then you say he's stamped it, with temper and full of misery. So why doesn't Krishna give us a better shot? If he's really liberal and wants to let us, okay, fine, you want to try to enjoy the material nature, why doesn't he give us an eternal body? And why doesn't he give us, why does it, it's like I say, okay, you can run a race, but then I shoot you in the foot,
Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, he gives us birth, death, disease, old age. Why doesn't he give us a better run at it?
Yeah.
Just let me be eternal.
Let
me go. You do your thing, Krishna, and I'll do mine.
Well, there's like a what is it called, a causeless, stubborn unwillingness to surrender to Krishna. That sometimes people have, and I'd say there's an intelligent person. They want to, reality is a way reality is reality, and there's certain things that are just, they're not going to change. So, as souls, we have options, and an intelligent person, they want to, weigh out their options and see what's the best. So, there are better situations than humans, for example. Like there's demigods. Demigods, it's pretty good materially. They have a very long life, and they don't get old, and I believe, they don't get diseased. They don't get disease. I mean, you cut out disease and you cut out old age. I mean, that's pretty good. Long life, drinking the somaras, and right. They say that the men and women of the higher planets are in no comparison in terms of beauty. Very beautiful, handsome. So things are, you could say, going on there in the heavenly planets, but but that's also not satisfying, and that won't satisfy us. Neither, life in this world. But I mean, there is a kind of I don't want to say like eternal chances, because we could try to be happy in this life, and then if it doesn't work out, or if we don't, then we get the next life. We get a lot of chances. So the reality is that we are just, Krishna is all attractive, and ultimately, by connecting with Krishna, we experience that reservoir of pleasure. And as you like to, say sometimes, as far as I remember, that, Krishna can't help it. He's just all attractive. That's just how it is. And, the living entities are naturally attracted to him. So when we are able to rise to that platform, or rise to the occasion of developing that loving relationship, Krishna's there. And in the meantime, we could try so many different ways to be happy, but it just, this suffering is actually like an impetus for change. It's like, okay, I'm suffering, whatever, physically, mentally, whatever, we're suffering. So it's like, all right, well, I need to change something. Maybe if I do this or do that, then try to figure things out so I don't have to suffer. So the suffering of birth, death, old age, disease, different suffering, it's like an impetus that, hey, well, maybe I should change something.
This isn't working.
Yeah, this isn't working. Maybe there's another option. So that's Krishna's mercy, actually. That one is that, okay, you want to try to enjoy without me? Okay, go for it. But two is that there's another option, and that's his mercy in the sense that he's willing to take us back. He's willing to reestablish that relationship. So I don't know, maybe somebody else has some other comment or question in relation to that. Or in relation to something else.
Simple analogy. No, your answer is very good. But a simple analogy is, suppose I go visit Temple X. I'm the GBC for Denver. I go to Denver, and I give one of the brahmacharis there $100 when I'm leaving. He drives me to the airport. I say, here's $100. Use it for, buy some books, whatever you need. And he gets back to the temple and says, hey, this Bhadranath Swami, he's not so bad, I got a different opinion. He gave me $100. And then the other brahmachari said, gee, that's funny. He gave me $1,000. And if it turns out I gave all the other brahmacharis $1,000, how does the one brahmachari feel he only got $100? He says, wait a minute, I got cheated. I'm going back to the airport. Where's my other $900? Yeah. So to get material happiness, it's like the $100. Krishna can give us that, and he does. You like you say, you very nicely explained. You can become a deva, you can get along, you're fine. But Krishna can't help it that ultimately the best thing, the $1,000, is him. It's just the facts of life. So Krishna doesn't, as you said, very nicely explained, that these are impetus for change. If otherwise we would just sit here with second best, mucking around in the material world and miss out on the ever-increasing ecstasy of pure relationship with Krishna, Krishna's devotional service. So as you said, it's his mercy. Prabhupada says suffering, there's different reasons for suffering. I don't want to give a second class, but there's different reasons for suffering. And sometimes Prabhupada says just to give the living entity a good kick. Don't stay here.
Yes.
So it is his mercy.
Yeah. On one hand, you got, right, Durga Devi, you got material energy. She's got the trident and the 3 prongs, right? 3 prongs. She's going like this. Hey, keep going, buddy. Get out of here. Get out of material life, right? Those 3 prongs, they say, represent the threefold miseries of material existence, coming from the body and mind, other living entities, natural disturbances. So So it's impetus for change. And then on the positive side, we could say both positive, but on the more easily acceptable side, you have Krishna, right? Or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, come chant, come be happy, associate with devotees in Krishna consciousness. So it's a good deal. Yeah, ultimately. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? Okay. Right. Granjot Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.